Have you ever noticed that the more you follow the workout rules, the less results you seem to see? Well, maybe the problem isn't you, but precisely these rules that are holding you back. What no one tells you is that true progress comes when you stop playing the same game as everyone else. Today, I'll reveal why some of the most repeated principles in gyms are exactly what's holding you back, according to science, and how breaking each one can unlock insane gains in just a few weeks. Get ready to experience muscle growth so fast, it'll leave you speechless. After all, what's coming next will completely change the way you train, eat, and follow your routine. The people around you will be amazed by your progress in the coming weeks, believe me. So, let's get started. Our first break rule. Most people believe consistency means never failing, never missing a workout, and sticking to a routine like a programmed robot. But the human body isn't a machine. It's intelligent, adaptable, and sometimes even stubborn. When you do exactly the same thing for too long, your body gets used to it and progress slows. Like a student who memorizes a lesson but stops learning. That's why true consistency isn't about repeating the same pattern, but about staying committed to evolution, even if it means changing your strategy every now and then. Imagine a painter who always uses the same colors. No matter how skilled they are, their works will start to look identical. The same goes for training. If you always do the same thing with the same weight and pace, the results repeat, or worse, stop. Taking a strategic break, a week off from consistency, is like changing the colors on a palette. The stimulus changes, and the body needs to adapt. And it's precisely in this adaptation that growth lies. So, instead of beating yourself up for breaking your routine, use it to your advantage. That week, when you decide to break the pattern, switch up exercises, vary the number of reps, and play around with the rhythm of the movements. For example, if you always do heavy bench presses, try a parallel bar workout or push-ups with variations. This break from predictability forces your body to react, and when you get back into the routine, it responds with renewed vigor. Curious, isn't it? Because sometimes, the secret to maintaining consistency is knowing when to break it. Our second tip, most people believe growth happens during training, when the sweat pours and the muscles burn. But the truth is, real growth begins when you stop. Now, let's break some rules regarding recovery that many teach you wrong. It's like planting a seed. You don't make it grow by pulling the stem up, but by watering it and giving it time to blossom. The body works the same way. When you insist on training the same muscle 2 or 3 times a week, as many are teaching as the correct rule lately, without giving your muscles the rest they deserve, you're actually cutting the stem of your own evolution. Now imagine a period of 2 to 3 months, training each muscle only once a week. It seems short, doesn't it? But it's in this apparent regression that progress lies. Giving a longer interval between exercises is like pressing your body's reset button. During this time, it rebuilds fibers, strengthens joints, and improves hormonal response. Many elite athletes use this method when they want to overcome a plateau, and the results are surprising. They come back stronger, with denser, more resilient muscles. So, the next time you feel guilty about resting, remember, rest is the invisible training. During sleep, for example, testosterone and growth hormone peak, and that's what makes the magic happen. A good mattress, 8 hours of good sleep, a protein-rich diet. These details are what build muscle when no one is looking. Curious, right? Because sometimes what seems to stop is exactly what makes you surge forward. The third rule you must break. The obsession with the mind-muscle connection. This is one of the most repeated rules in gyms. Focus on the muscle that's working. But what if I told you that this idea might actually be holding you back? In our third rule to break, I'll show you that sometimes stopping thinking so much is what makes your body perform better. When you worry too much about feeling the muscle, you end up losing the intensity, rhythm, and even aggression that make training truly effective. Training isn't meditation, it's a controlled battlefield. Think about it. When an athlete enters a competition, they don't analyze every movement. They just execute. The body knows what to do because It's already been conditioned to do so. If you channel your energy into training instead of trying to control it to the millimeter, your results change. A good example is to put on your headphones, choose a song that makes you feel invincible, and simply train, without overthinking, without demanding the perfect feeling. I've found that good heavy rock music takes me to levels of focus and strength that no conscious connection ever brought. This rule breaking may seem bold, but it's liberating. When you let go of control, your body responds naturally, using all its strength. Try training with full intensity, even if the movement doesn't feel perfect, and watch your performance explode. The mind is still there, but now it's fuel, not a break. And this is the kind of broken rule that separates those who just train from those who truly evolve. Now we come to the fourth rule that many people blindly follow. Eating clean all the time is the secret to growth. But if that were true, why do so many clean eaters still see the same results? The truth is, if you want to truly build muscle, the focus should be on a caloric surplus, not on following a rigid menu. You can have the cleanest diet in the world. If you're not eating enough, you won't grow. And guess what? It's precisely when you learn to break this rule that your body finally begins to respond. During an intense training phase, the body needs fuel, not perfection. If you spent the entire day running, working, training, and still ate little because you couldn't break the diet, you're sabotaging your progress. A smart athlete knows how to adapt. They eat rice and chicken when they can, but also don't hesitate to add a pancake or a sandwich when they need more energy. This is nutritional maturity, understanding that the consistency of a surplus is worth more than the rigidity of rules. Of course, common sense is key. It's not about eating anything, but about making balanced choices. And when you free yourself from the fear of messing up, you'll notice that you grow faster with less stress and even more pleasure. This rule breaking completely changes your relationship with food and your body. After all, who said you can only achieve results if you live by restrictions? Wait until you see what the next rule contains. It will make you rethink the entire way you organize your workouts. In our fifth rule to break, we'll talk about something almost everyone does without question: following the same weekly workout routine. Monday is chest, Tuesday is back, Wednesday is legs. Sounds efficient, right? But it's not. This type of pattern is what makes the body go into automatic mode. It stops being challenged because it already knows exactly what's going to happen. Want to break out of this cycle? Then it's time to mess up your schedule and teach your body to deal with the unexpected. Imagine your body as a student who knows the content of a test by heart. It stops learning because there's no longer any novelty. When you change the division, it finds itself forced to study again, or rather to grow again. Try training chest and back on the same day, for example. Or, instead of doing legs once a week, divide the workout into parts. Quadriceps one day, hamstrings, and glutes the next. This exchange of stimuli activates different fibers, speeds up your metabolism, and prevents your body from accommodating the results. And want a practical tip? Every 6 or 8 weeks, change something in your training structure. Switch the order of muscle groups. Try a push/pull/leg split, or even a temporary full body. This is strategy, not messing around. This is how top athletes evolve. They keep their bodies constantly on alert, without giving them time to fully adapt. Because deep down, the secret is this: when your body thinks it's got the hang of it, you change the rules. And speaking of rules, the next one is one of the most controversial, and will likely divide opinions. Now we come to the sixth and perhaps most controversial rule. You must use perfect form on every exercise. It's the kind of advice that seems wise, but it could have been holding you back for months. Of course, no one is saying to do the movement all wonky and hurt yourself. But the truth is, perfect form doesn't equal progress. Sometimes that little swing, that controlled momentum, is exactly what pushes you past the limit and achieves stimuli your muscles would never receive if you stuck to pretty execution. Think of legendary bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler. They were never mechanical in their movements. And yet, or perhaps because of it, they built incredible physiques. The secret? They understood that the goal wasn't to perform a pretty exercise. It was to get the most out of your muscle. And when you learn to use form to your advantage, adapting the movement to your biomechanics, you stop being a beginner and become a strategist. It's like a driver who feels the car. They don't drive by manual, they drive by instinct. This is the ultimate paradigm shift. Understanding that what's right isn't always what works best. Training intelligently means knowing when to apply technique and when to use intensity. And if that seems controversial to you, great, because that's exactly where growth lies. In discomfort, in breaking the mold, in challenging the "it's always been this way." Ultimately, those who grow fastest are those who have the courage to question what everyone else takes for granted. And believe me, what comes next will make that even clearer. Now that you know that following rules doesn't always bring results, it's time to act differently. Break the mold, try something new, and see how much your body can evolve when you stop training like everyone else. And if you want to discover the next step to further accelerate your gains, watch the video on the left, where I explain why sometimes low-volume training means more growth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next videos will show you how to make each workout the most productive of your life.